Okay, so this regular session is being called to order at 6 o'clock at this point for the St. Helens School Board. If everyone could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so at this point, we will go ahead and take a roll call. If you could please say here. It looks like Vice Chair Trinity Monahan is not going to be here. Kelly Smith, is she here? Okay, she may end up needing to come in during the executive session then. Melody Helens.
Here.
Board Member Bill Amos.
Here.
Okay, and I am
I
here.
see Kelly is also here.
Oh, excellent. All right.
There she is.
Sorry, I'm here. I'm having some audio issues, but I think it's better now.
All right, excellent. Okay, so at this point, gender approval. Okay, this is the wrong one. One moment. Okay, consent. All right, so at this point, the school board will now meet in closed executive session pursuant to ORS 192.6602A and ORS 192.6602E. Representatives of the news media and designated staff shall be allowed to attend. Representatives of the new media are specifically directed not to report on any of the deliberations during the executive session, except to state the general subject of the session as previously announced. No recording of the executive session is allowed without express permission from the board. No final decision may be made in executive session except for a student expulsion. At the end of the executive session, we will return to open session. All right, and at this point, we will go ahead and
So you exit the session you're in currently, and then you have to go and open up the other session. It's in your email, I think on your calendar too, but there's the invite link in your email that says executive session. You have to exit from this, you have to exit from this session, the leave button.
Okay, I got Karen.
Okay, is everyone here? All right, then let's go ahead and resume the regular session. At this point, we are at agenda approval. Does any member want to end up making a motion at this point?
Yes, I do. I move that we modify the agenda to add an action item after the budget committee. Please add licensed and administrative contract renewals from the 2024-2025 school year for the 2025-2026 school year.
Okay, that's a motion. Do I hear a second?
I will second.
Okay, moved in second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Can I
Okay.
interrupt for 2 seconds? There's a feedback that's happening and it might be someone has a phone on at the same time if they want to mute it.
It's possible. It is also possible that Melody and I are a little too close. We've had to be very careful as to how close we happen to be because we happen to be roughly in the same room.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Is there any other motions that any member wants to bring forward at this point? All right. Then we will move on to the board report.
Nope. We need to,
I forgot there is another one.
Oh, okay.
and then we need to actually accept the agenda as amended.
Yeah.
Yes.
Move that, well, we have to move that we approve the modified agenda.
Got it. Okay. So that is a motion. Is there a second?
I will second.
Second.
Okay. Moved in second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. So the agenda is now amended as given. All right. Are we ready to move on to the board report at this point? All right. If you could, Dr. Gray.
Well, the board report is you guys. So this is where the board doesn't take too long, but each one of you might say something that you did in the district this week or something you noticed. We like to hear from the board in a board meeting. So anyone can start. Matthew, you can call on people.
Well, I'll go ahead and start because I'll end up being the low ball that everybody else can end up managing to do better at. I did a lot of studying on the changes that are coming up on the, there's a number of things that are being proposed at this point in the Oregon House that end up being able to, that will do some major changes down the line if we want to end up accepting them. And while there's definitely good aspects to them, including additional funding if necessary, there's a lot of caveats to that and a lot of strings attached to that as well. And so I've been doing my best in order to be able to kind of look through those particular things that they're proposing, what's being proposed across it, and to be able to kind of get a feel for what the final product will likely look like. There aren't a lot of districts in Oregon that end up having something similar. And it's probably because of the original caveats. So we'll have to end up looking as to what this works out. But if it does work out, if it does work for us, then we might be able to end up getting another stream of funding that will end up helping us to dig us out of this hole that we currently happen to have. Anyway, that's what I've been doing. Bill?
Well, probably the most exciting thing was last weekend. We had two groups of kids just play their absolute hearts out and end with a little heartbreak, but they did an amazing job in the basketball program. We're off to spring sports now, but kudos to those kids and their coaches for the incredible effort they put in against some really, really challenging teams. Hopefully the student body will talk about that a little bit more, but being there, it was when you are ahead after 30 minutes of 32 against the #1 team in the state, and you're the lowest ranked team in the playoffs, you're doing pretty well and playing way, way, way above your skill level. So they did a great job. And then just continuing on with some of the other good work we're doing in our CTE program, and the kids will address that later.
Melody, if you could.
You better mute you. So I'm always living over at McBride, but I do have to say that Monday was the most fantastic morning that we've had all year. With even jumping forward, we had the least amount of late kids and parents that we've ever had. So I was very impressed, and everybody's been doing great. But I also want to say that there's some kids that, have always work really, really hard at being in school, and the improvement I'm seeing in the last couple of weeks with the kids coming in and wanting to do what they're supposed to do and working with the teachers so well has been a really great thing to see over there.
Nice. And Kelly?
I attended the St. Helens Sports Boosters auction this last weekend, and they raised $45,000, which is a little bit lower than normal, but it was pretty exciting. This game that was happening, the basketball game, was announced on the microphone while the boosters event was going on, and it was really neat to have the community like rally behind them and wish them well every time they made a basket, or they were 3 up or a couple back, and everybody really, really wanted to see you guys succeed, so that was really fun. And today I actually got to attend Rotary and see the Citizens of the Month, and Dr. Gray was there. And as a Rotary member, that's something we do always look forward to, and that is exciting. I have been still working on what might actually be an OAR eventually. Spencer Lewis and I have been going back and forth, and he gave me quite a few things to kind of look at and clarify. And so I'm actively engaging in this policy, and I hope that we can be moving towards maybe some small groups. If somebody wants to participate in that and do some little workshops, we could do that. And maybe at some point we want to either make it a board activity, or maybe you want to delegate me to do that and represent. Otherwise, I'll just continue to work on this, and I'm finding some structure here that I think we really needed, and I'm excited about it.
That's very good. Thank you. All right. We'll move on to item 5, the Classified School Employee Week for March 3rd to 7th. And would that be Dr. Gray?
There's a resolution that the board chair reads that we would have given you to recognize the classified week, or the.
I have it handy. Do you want me to read it?
Oh, go ahead.
That'd be great.
Okay. Classified Appreciation Week. Whereas the education of youth is essential to the future of our community, state, country, and world, and whereas classified employees are the backbone of our public education and system, and whereas classified employees work directly with students, educators, parents, volunteers, business partners, and community members, and whereas classified employees support the smooth operation of offices, the safety, the maintenance of buildings and property, and the safe transportation, healthy nutrition, and direct instruction of students. And whereas our community depends upon and trusts classified employees to serve students, and whereas classified employees with their diverse talents and true dedication nurture students throughout their school years. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the St. Helens School District Board of Directors proclaims and recognizes that March 3rd, 2025 will be Classified Employee Appreciation Week. And be it further resolved that the St. Helens School District Board of Directors strongly encourages all members of our community to join in this observance, recognizing the dedication and hard work of these individuals all year. Adopted today.
Excellent. Thank you.
I'll mention that our own Stacy Mendoza went out to every single school, and she brought so many goodies to the buildings to say thank you to our classified school employees. And we just had a wonderful time of it, March 3rd through 7th. And they are truly the backbone of any school district.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you very much for that. Okay, and we're moving on to number 6, consent agenda. The board on an individual basis prior to the meeting has reviewed all material. All financial reports are available for review by the public in the business office. The board considers consent agenda items routine business and will be enacted by the board in one motion. There will be no discussion of these items at the time the board votes on the motion unless members of the board, staff, or public request specific items to be discussed or removed from this consent agenda. So,
I move that we accept the consent agenda as stated.
I will
Okay.
second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. All right. And on to new business, number 7. All right, the Community Impact Awards. Who would be presenting that one?
Who does the, there she is. Hold on just a moment. Well, I would like to, if that's okay.
Yes, please.
Anybody? Okay, awesome. So this lovely person is Leah Yarber, and I'm going to read to you why Leah is our Student Community Impact Award recipient tonight. Thank you so much for being here, Leah. Leah Yarber is a remarkable athlete and leader at St. Helens High School. A second-degree black belt in Taekwondo, she has been competing at the national level since 2018. Beyond her own training, Leah gives back by teaching beginner white belt classes, mentoring young athletes, and helping children in the community build confidence and strength through that sport. In addition to Taekwondo, she is a multiple sport athlete, excelling in wrestling and track and field. She is currently ranked 10th in the state for high school girls shot put. Wow. Leah's leadership extends beyond athletics. As the sophomore class president, she plays a vital role in student government, spearheading initiatives to support elementary school students in St. Helens and organizing numerous fundraisers for nonprofit organizations that benefit cancer survivors. Her commitment is giving back, and it reflects her deep sense of community and service. Outside of school and sports, Leah works part-time at the Pacific Athletic Club, enjoys working out, and is currently working on obtaining her driver's license. Awesome. After graduation, she plans to attend the University of Oregon. Me too. Go Ducks. To pursue a degree in psychology while continuing her track and field career. Leah's dedication, work ethic, and leadership make her an outstanding role model for her peers. Her passion for mentoring and supporting others embodies the values of perseverance, service, and teamwork that we celebrate at St. Helens High School. Congratulations, Leah.
Congratulations.
Yay. Job, Leah.
So we have a really nice appreciation certificate for you that we're going to give you. And also, Leah, I wondered, do you have just a few lines you'd like to maybe say to the community?
I'd just like to thank everyone for being so supportive and like all my coaches and everyone who's mentored me to make me the person that I am so that I'm able to do all of this for the community.
Wonderful. One more round of applause, you guys.
Thank you.
Let's hear it for Leah. Thank you so much. And next we have our Staff Community Impact Award recipient, Jillian Sederberg. And there she is. She's on our screen. Hi.
Hi.
So Jillian, thank you so much. Let me read to you about Jillian now. Jillian Sederberg has developed student-centered routines and supports that address the emotional and social needs of her students, ensuring they have the confidence and skills to participate in general ed classes for the majority of their school day. Her work has not only strengthened students' social abilities, but also provides them with effective coping strategies to manage difficult emotions, allowing them to remain engaged in dynamic learning environments alongside their peers. And that's huge. Under Jillian's leadership, the Social Emotional Learning Center classroom has seen a remarkable transformation. Incident reports and crisis support calls have drastically declined, a testament to the positive and structured environment she has cultivated. Through her dedication and advocacy, Jillian has given her students the tools, resources, and confidence necessary to succeed as typical middle school students. Jillian's unwavering commitment to her students and her passion for fostering an inclusive, supportive educational setting make her an invaluable asset to our district. She is a compassionate leader, a champion for students with social and emotional disabilities, and a true example of the impact that dedicated educators can have on a school community. Congratulations, Jillian. We really appreciate you.
Yes, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Miss Jillian.
Would you speak to us just a little bit?
Yeah. I just want to say I really love working in this community. I live in this community. My daughter is in school in this community. So I love it here. I love my coworkers. I love my students. I just love it.
Well, you're a hero. And I don't know that everyone understands the kind of work that you are doing. I do. So we really appreciate your work in St. Helens and in our community and in our schools. One more round of applause, you guys, for Jillian.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here tonight. And we have a nice certificate for you too. Thank you.
All right. Well, that was wonderful.
That was
At this
wonderful.
point, we can go. I'm assuming that that was it. So let's go ahead and move on to 7.2, the St. Helens High School ASB report. Braden Hewson, given by Keely Scoville, if I can pronounce her name correctly.
Go Keely.
Braden is here this evening and he will be doing the report.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear us now?
A little bit louder would be great.
Well, let me get closer. Braden is here and he will be giving the report this evening.
Fantastic. Let's hear it from Braden. Talk loud.
Okay, can you guys hear me well?
Yeah. Lean into the mic a little bit. You're good.
Oh, that's nice.
Can't hear anything.
All right, now she cut us off.
I can't hear anything. Dr. Ellis, I can't hear anything.
One more moment.
We are having technical difficulties beyond our control.
You might want to try hitting the mute button and unmuting it.
How about now?
That's
Can
better.
hear you, just need to be louder,
Or closer to the mic.
closer to the mic. Get loud.
Oh, okay. Okay, is that good?
That's good.
You guys-
Yeah, you got this.
Good, Braden. And we lost you again.
Yeah.
Oh, don't you love technology? I'm a terrible lip reader.
There's a whiteboard behind them. They can write on it.
Ed, why are we having so much trouble?
Sounds like the microphone is not cooperating tonight.
Can he talk into somebody else's microphone?
I believe, Braden, you got a invite to the webinar there. So if you accept it, and you should be able to use your Chromebook there to speak.
Yep, or perhaps Mr. Plowman?
Yep, he looks like he's.
I work with these things all the time, and I know how finicky they can be.
Sounds like they're connecting Braden's Chromebook right now.
Fingers crossed.
Now I'm unmuted.
Just make sure everybody else is muted
You just want to mute the
so
TV.
we don't get a big old echo. And now we can't hear you.
We're muted.
The TV volume needs to be turned down. That's getting feedback from the display volume on the big screen. Someone
Help.
you flick it, you swipe up in the center, and then you should get the little slider bar for the volume there.
Okay. Oh, Lord, why is this so hard? We are not leaving until we hear from Braden. So we're going to be here a long time.
Okay, can you guys hear me well?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Good job.
Nobody
So there
breathe.
should be a presentation that I had sent that should be broadcasted for you guys to see. I don't know how that's supposed to be set up.
Ed is supposed to do it.
Okay.
Say, Ed, do you have the PowerPoint?
And
Okay,
do you
one
have
moment.
the PowerPoint for me
One-
to present to everyone?
One moment.
That I can actually turn down a little.
I was going to try.
Can someone refresh who sent that? Sorry, I'm not tracking that right now.
Okay, do you have it so you could just talk about it?
I do have it.
Okay.
It just makes
Yeah,
more sense.
if there's any way he could just read it, perhaps.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I'm terrified to move here that we're going to lose him.
Yeah.
Pull it up my phone so I can see it. It's Keely's.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so let's get started. So, for any of you who don't know me, I am Braden Houston. I am a senior here at St. Helens High School, and I am your current ASB Public Relations. I run our Instagrams account and our Facebook's account for ASB. I also make our promotional videos for like our blood drive or any fundraiser or any Spirit Day posters that will go onto the Instagram so we can help promote student involvement here at St. Helens High School. So for tonight's agenda, what I have for you is Elks Teen of the Month, then Rotary Teen of the Month, some new staff members, and St. Helens High School events. First off, with Elks Teen, for February, since this slideshow was meant for February, and then later on we'll be presenting March. For February, the Elks Teen of the Month is Caroline Niemi. And one thing that one of her teachers would like to say is Miss Blount. She shares that Caroline is an incredibly well-rounded person who always gives her highest levels of effort. She's a great example of what SHHS students can achieve despite the challenges that come our way, and makes me proud to be a Lion. Next is our Rotary Teen of the Month for February is Miss Ellie Murin. One thing about Ellie, she inspires her teammates through her hard work and determination. Beyond athletics, she actively gives back to her community through volunteer work, always looking for ways to make a positive difference in the lives of others. Next, we have some new staff here at St. Helens High School in the month of February. We have Mr. Matthew Dusnup teaching choir. One thing he would like to say is, my goal is not to come in and change what is already working. I aim to collaborate with you as a community and move forward together. This is not just my program, it's our program, a team effort. Next is for drama, Mr. Sean Hennessy. I am committed to bringing safety, knowledge, and efficiency back to performing spaces at St. Helens High School. Next, we have events here that have been going on in February is our performing arts program with St. Helens High School Jazz Band has qualified at our District 3 Jazz Festival, reaching first place in their division and having state qualifying scores to be submitted into the tape pool. Wind Ensemble has also started up their festival season, and so has Corleones. One thing recently is the St. Helens High School Wind Ensemble performed at Clackamas Community College for their festival and reached first place in the small band division, and also getting high scores in sight reading and also getting another state qualifying score set. Jazz Band also has a festival this Friday in Seaside. Next, we have a junior class fundraiser called Duck a Friend, where students were able to purchase a duck to send to a friend so that they can add involvement and make sure that the junior class could raise money for future events, including dances or help contributing to other future fundraisers. Next is our ASB art show is coming up. Our St. Helens High School ASB treasurer, Michaela Hines, has put together this art show last year. It was a big success, and this year she plans to start it again. The date for that is April 25th, 2025. Our next thing that happened in February is our Love and Kindness Week from February 10th to the 14th. And one thing that we provided for our students during lunch was a Cupid Arrows game where they could shoot a plastic bow and arrow at hearts to receive prizes. And one thing we did was we had certain spirit days for our students to participate. We had wear red, wear yellow, or wear green, depending on your relationship status. And next, we have something that is starting new here at St. Helens High School, which is our Principal Action Committee here, started by our new acting principal, Charlotte Ellis. She has started her first meeting today with her students to start training so that she can help broaden student voices here at St. Helens High School. One thing that has happened here at the high school recently is our Winter Ball Dance. Included on February 22nd from 7 to 10 in our commons, and our theme was Dancing Under the Stars, and it provided professional photography and DJ and catering by our St. Helens High School culinary program. And our court for Winter Ball was Kaylee Brummer, Zachary Edwards, Caleb Griffin, Boston Durant, Michaela Dueck, Michaela Hines, Ashton Bozer, and Justice Stanton. And our two queens are Kaylee Brummer and Michaela Dueck. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you for listening. And I hope that if you want to stay connected or anything about the high school is doing, make sure to follow our Instagram page at official_SHHS or our Facebook page at St. Helens High School ASB News page.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Excellent report.
Took
Excellent.
a while, but that was a lot of very good news. Thank you.
Super newsy.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to agenda item 7.3, renovation and remodeling report. Bill, if you could.
I think Charlotte's going to take over.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Thank you. So good evening, Board Chair Douglas, Superintendent Gray, and members of our school board. It is my pleasure this evening to have with us Georgia, one of our current R&R students, and two former students, Dave and Richard. They're here tonight to share with us their experience in our R&R program. As the board is aware, our R&R program is one of many business-based enterprises we have with our CTE programs here at the high school. And we're very, very proud of all of the programs that we have the opportunity to offer. We understand that these programs give our kids life skills that they get to translate outside when they leave us. And we're very proud of the positive impact it has in our community. So I'm going to start with Georgia. I'm going to have her come over and she has some words to share. So, okay, there you go.
Yep, just all right. My name is Georgia Hogan, and I'm a student at St. Helens High School, and I'm participating in the Renovation and Remodeling program. The R&R program is a state-certified pre-apprenticeship program for construction. This means that once I graduate, I have direct access in either carpentry or electrical union apprenticeship. The R&R program enables high school construction students to restore and remodel foreclosed or dilapidated houses, thereby gaining invaluable training in an abundance of career fields. The students are involved in the market analysis, the rationale of a house selection, largest ROI, the purchasing, the work itself, and the ongoing maintenance until the time of sale. Students are transported to and from the job site during double period classes and work alongside local contractors while performing all other work that does not require a license. The program started back in 2015 when the current teacher wrote a grant and received $380,000 from a revitalization grant to fund the project. The first 3 years of the program, it was completely self-sufficient and even paid the R&R portion of the teacher's salary out of the proceeds from the house sales. When COVID hit, that was dropped. But since then, the program has continued to function in the black. And after the sale of this current house, it will continue to have more funds than the program initially started with. Each year, a portion of the funds goes back to the students as well by supplying them with tools and workwear that is needed for the working outdoors on a job site. I plan to use the knowledge from this program by going into a carpentry apprenticeship. And while I haven't decided where I will go, I know that I will have the skills I need to succeed. One of the things I like best about this program is the confidence it builds. If you were to meet me 2 years ago today and give me the same challenges that I faced in R&R, I would not know where to start. The renovations class has given me not only the skills and knowledge of renovating, but the confidence to take on new tasks that I otherwise wouldn't have had. I know I'm not the only student who has grown their confidence because with this year being my second year in R&R, I get to see the new members grow from being unsure about new projects to actively jumping at opportunities to learn. Not only am I proud of everyone in the R&R class, but I am extremely thankful for the teachers on site for running this class and letting me be a part of it.
Thank you, Georgia. And now I'm going to invite Dave over and then followed by Richard, and then we'll be happy to take any questions from the board at the conclusion of their parts.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm Dave. I'll kind of be going over my experiences in R&R and how it impacted my life after and the ways that it benefited me. Forgive me while I reference some notes from time to time. So R&R was a very special thing to me. I graduated back in 2019. I was one of the first classes of R&R. Wow. And it really got me through high school. I was not a fan of high school, but one thing I was a fan of was R&R. And every day, R&R provided that light at the end of the tunnel for me, that if I could get to the end of the day, I could go to R&R and I could work on a job site and I could do what I loved. That was huge for me and huge for my high school experience. After that, I was able to get jobs over the summers or over my junior, senior year summer through connections I had made in R&R. And then after I graduated, I picked up a job for the summer also through connections I had made through R&R. Now I'm an apprentice in the plumbing trade, and the experience that R&R has given me above the other apprentices that are just coming in is pretty astronomical. The difference knowledge level wise that I have over some of these other apprentices, not to boast or anything like that, but it's just, it does make a difference, a huge difference, and employers notice it. The job that I have right now is because of connections that I made while I was in high school in R&R. And it's actually led to other projects as well, such as a hobby of mine, video editing. I now have video editing gigs through those connections that you can course all the way back to my time in R&R. Even when I was in the service, there were projects that required people with framing knowledge or people with carpentry knowledge, and I was able to step up and do those tasks because of the knowledge that I had gained while in R&R. Additionally to that, the tools that you're provided at the end of the program are huge. When I came into the trade and I didn't have to buy my own tools, that was a lot of money that I was able to save. It's a huge asset. I really did, after high school, I took R&R with me everywhere I went. And even now, just here as I'm kind of talking to you guys, I'm thinking about where I am in life and all the opportunities that I have available to me. And almost all of them and all the monetary things that I do, or all the support systems or networks that I have of people that I look to for guidance or mentors or people that care about me, man, a lot of them can be traced back to R&R and the people I met there and the people I met through them. Wow. And so I praise the Lord for that opportunity to be in there and to do those things. And, yeah, absolutely. Right. Thank you so much.
Oh, no, you're good.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Howdy. Hey, I'm Richard. I'm actually Dave's boss. He came on a good recommendation from the program, and we always actually take a little bit more weight when it comes from the program, because I was the first 2 years of the program. I was year 1 and year 2, my junior and senior year. We worked on the first project actually just right around the corner. But anyway, the program, seeing it through the start and what it's become today, I'm really proud of the program and how far it's come from just the humble beginnings of like, hey, we're going to start this. We're going to, get this grant and go on, and to see that it's actually helping these students like it's helped me and Dave after school with coming into a trade and having the basic knowledge of framing, drywall, finish carpentry, and all that. You can save yourself a lot of time and money on projects in the future where you'd have to hire out. And the program doesn't focus on anything singularity, where you're going from step to step to step through the remodel on everything except for what you have to hire trade professionals for. So it's been really, really nice having that in my back pocket, because I'm a plumber by trade. But I bought a house within a couple years of graduating, and as I've had money, I've been rehabbing it and bought it using some of the cost analysis that we went over in the program, and have been doing projects that aren't just what I want to do, but what are actually going to increase the value of my home. And that was very important to learn, because I would have just bull rushed into it and just thrown money in places that it doesn't make any sense. And it's actually set me up to be a lot more successful than just your average plumber, because now I have my career and something I can do after work and on weekends. That's going to set me up for a future where I'm not going to be not going to be out there breaking my back until I'm 85 years old. So I love the program for that, and I love it for the students that are in it now, for the opportunities that they have, and I hope any of them could be as successful or more successful than me because of it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So good.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Does the board have any questions for any of our experts over here? We'd happy to field any at this time.
I would like to know if we've put together a graduate list of skilled individuals so we can call on them when we need something at our house.
Excellent. Thank you. I'm sure that list exists, and I'm happy to make sure that we add that to our website as part of the promotion of all of our CTE business-based programs. Great suggestion.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And, you know, along with that, I think it would be awesome if we put together a page to at least go maybe in the spotlight at some time of the different students that have gone on to open businesses or work in different ones in our community, so that we actually all can know who to call and know that they've got the great kids there that we've taught over the years at the high school.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yes, another great idea. We can do an alumni page associated with that.
Thank you to all of you.
very
You
much.
guys have done a great job.
Yes, it looks wonderful.
It's amazing. And as principal, I can't be more proud of Georgia, and just seeing what her future is going to hold with these skills. It's pretty amazing. So thank you for the opportunity this evening, Chair Douglas and Dr. Gray, for letting us showcase part of the amazing things that are happening here at the high school.
We're honored to have you.
Excellent job.
Thank
Excellent
you.
job.
Thank you.
All right.
I was contacted by Susan Kahn, which she listened to us last time talk about the R&R, and the program originally started like years and years ago, and has gone through some different renditions. But Bill, she sent a lot of love to you and for all your hard work, and hearing you talk about it, she said it made her heart swell, and she really, really appreciated all that you've given into this program.
Yes, thank you.
Wonderful.
All right. Next up, we have item 7.4, principal presentations.
Well, we're happy to go back to a former practice here in board meetings where we actually have principals sharing just for a few minutes each the wonderful things they're doing in their schools. They'd like to share that with the board and with the community. So thank you so much, principals, for being here tonight. Why don't we start with our elementary principals who are all huddled up, and start with Martine, please.
All right. Good evening, board. I'm Martine Barnett, principal of Columbia City Elementary. I'll actually be starting with the board report for our St. Helens Early Learning Program. Danny Boylan, the director, isn't able to join us tonight, but wanted to share the good things that are happening in that program. So St. Helens Early Learning just received a $20,000 grant from the ESD to help with kindergarten transition strategies focused on social emotional learning. So we're excited to implement that. Also excited that they're planning their last early learning family engagement night of the year for next month, and they'll be having a carnival themed event. And lastly, Danny will be presenting at the OASDC Early Learning Conference next month. She'll be talking about how our district went about introducing loose parts into classrooms from preschool through second grade for more play-based learning through our collaboration with Children's Institute and our Early School Success Grant. So good things happening in early learning. At Columbia City Elementary, we're excited to share that we've been working on our AVID strategy alignment for students focused on collaboration. And so we've gone through a process of identifying AVID strategies and creating an alignment kindergarten through 5th grade to build skills each year and agreements between those teachers that they'll teach the collaborative strategy so then the next grade level can build on that strategy. And it's really exciting. We've been putting them into practice and having great results and seeing our students being able to engage in that peer-to-peer, deep level conversation and listening skills. And yeah, it's just exciting to see. And we also had a title night recently, and that had a STEAM theme. And we had about 60 families participate and created all kinds of things, slime, lava lamps, great stuff, all with a literacy focus on that. So that was exciting to bring families into our building for an evening of fun. And then the thing that we're proud that we're working on, but is still in progress, is our tiered behavior support system. So we've put a lot of energy lately into how we're going to reteach the lagging skills that come up when an incident report happens and we've had a problem maybe on the playground or in the classroom where it's clear that a student has a particular skill that they just haven't mastered yet. And so we're using something we're calling Recess Academy because it's happening during their recess time where they come to my office or one of the other behavior support staff. And we reteach and really think about how do we build the skill that student is needing. And we're seeing great success with that and really equipping them with the skills that they need. So thank you so much. I'll turn it over to Cherie.
Good evening, board and community. I'm Cherie Martin, principal at Lewis and Clark. And so we've had quite a few exciting things happening. Last week, we had our family engagement night, and that was a fantastic time put on by Title. And it was a reading night. We had our Scholastic Book Fair, and we had roughly 560 students and parents come for dinner and a good time. So we look forward to other events like this and being able to engage and come together with our community, with our families, and just celebrate. We also have had some walk to read happening. So this is a time at each grade level where our kids are doing some movement. They're walking from class to class to get the reading skills that they need right at the level that they're at. And so we have that happening at every grade level. And we currently have this quarter, both 3rd and 4th grade are doing a walk to math. So these are tier 2 interventions, and we're really excited about those. We also have been doing, as Martine mentioned, we have been doing a lot of work with collaboration at all 3 elementary schools. And so our staff has been working on collaborative strategies. And this last week at our staff meeting, we all came together to show some of our artifacts of what we've been doing. So this could be pictures of our kids in action doing some of these collaborative practices. It could be samples of collaborative work from students. And it was exciting to see staff share those, learn from one another, and talk about how they might use each other's strategies. Right now, we are gearing up. State testing will be happening at the end of April, going into May. And so we do state testing at 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. And so today we spent some time as a staff talking about what does it look like at K1 and 2? What do our kids need? What are the skills to help them so that when they get to 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, that they are getting the best opportunity to show their best work? How can we support? What do they need to know so that we can make sure that our kids are really getting to highlight their very best? And so that's what we're doing at Lewis and Clark. And now I have my colleague at McBride will be sharing from them.
Thank you.
Good evening, Superintendent Gray, Chair Mr. Douglas, and Board. Allison Dubuque. I am the principal at McBride Elementary School. It's really great to be back. This feels like we're getting back to some normal. It's wonderful to be in front of you tonight. So A couple of highlights, and forgive us for sounding like broken records. I think one of the things I'm really proud of with our elementary team is how aligned we are. We have very similar timelines, and we work very closely on planning for professional development. So if I sound like a broken record, I apologize, but it's also been a highlight for us at McBride. We just on March 4th, last Tuesday night, we hosted our family reading night. It was an ocean theme. We had a great turnout, over 400 attendees. We bought enough ice cream for 400 folks, and we ran out, and there was more demand. So we may have even had more than 400. So we were very excited about that. We had some guest speakers that came in to share their expertise on tide pooling. We have a small after-school group called Destination Imagination. They do creative STEAM-focused challenges that address some kind of topic that they're trying to create a solution for. And they did a really darling presentation on sneaker waves, and it was just delightful. And they are also they're competing this weekend in Hillsborough. They're going to a Destination Imagination competition. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Coinciding with our family reading night, we also had a book fair, our second book fair of the year. And we have a good hefty chunk of change that we're going to be reinvesting into the library at McBride. So I'm really excited about that. And that's thanks to the efforts of Julie Nelson, our librarian, and of course, Rosalie Sumption for our family reading night. So really great stuff going on in that department. To kind of piggyback off of what Martine and Cherie have shared, our focus for professional development has been around increasing student engagement and how we help our teachers support them professionally to be able to create the learning environment using best practice to really capitalize on what kids are interested in. And in February, we worked on a professional development around AVID collaboration strategies. And then by the end of February, completed some calibration and alignment from pre-K all the way through 5th grade, kind of showing what does this look like in all these different spaces. And then yesterday, excitingly enough, our guiding coalition met, and we're working together on a walkthrough tool across the elementary schools to kind of capture what are we seeing in classrooms. They gave their stamp of approval, and they're really excited to start gathering some evidence of how these professional developments are working in live time, with the hope that they're really impacting student achievement. And so we'll be kind of completing that inquiry cycle in the next couple months. So I'm really excited to share that with you. One area that we're working on is kind of like Martine shared, but our behavior response process at McBride and building that out. So that things that are administrator handled versus teacher handled, how do we help coach students up with intervention in different behavior academies? What are our supporting interventions? What are our supporting documentations for referral? Those kinds of things that help our staff process. Like, it's a really big, hard thing because it's that it can make your heart race really fast when something feels not like it's in your control. And so this kind of documentation and really landing page, I think, is going to help make this very clear for our staff and our building. And we're hopeful the behavior support team has committed to getting that work all completed by May of 2025. So we'll come back at the end of the year with all that fleshed out for you to share. And lastly, I'd like to invite you all to our music performance for 4th grade on Thursday night. That's tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah, wow. So please come by McBride at 6 o'clock and watch our 4th grade performers. They're really excited to perform for the community and their families. So come join us.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any questions for our team? We're all still here.
Just wonderful. Wonderful.
Okay.
It's so good to hear this really tightly knit, collaborative elementary team. Bravo.
Yeah.
Doing
Thank
great
you. We're
things
really
for
proud.
kids.
We're proud.
You should be.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and move on to Chris.
Dr. Gray, our superintendent, and school board. It's wonderful to be back giving our principal reports. So I represent St. Helens Middle School. I am the principal there, and this is our Riverhawk report. I'm going to highlight a big success recently. If you don't already know, we recognize our high achievers at St. Helens Middle School through something called a 4.0 breakfast celebration. And we do this at the end of each quarter. And recently, at the end of quarter two, we held our 4.0 breakfast celebration in our cafeteria. We had 95 students attend who earned a 4.0, and they came along with their parents. They get to invite their parents to this event, and we served them pastries, fruit, juice, and a nice little morning breakfast, and we celebrate their success from the previous quarter. This year, we had in sixth grade 43 4.0 students this quarter. In seventh grade, we had 30, and in eighth grade, we had 22. And we will continue this practice each quarter throughout each school year. The next success that I would like to highlight is our wrestling program. This is actually becoming one of our most consistent winning programs. And the high school and middle school are seeing great success in both boys and girls wrestling. And we're turning out some of the best wrestlers in the state. And so at the middle school level, we had our regional tournament recently. We had 8 boys and 7 girls attend. 3 of our girls placed first through third, and all 3 of those girls will be going on to state at Albany High School this Saturday. And so that's pretty incredible. A shout out to Rebel Payao, Madison Ragnar, and Lucy Maupin for qualifying for state. Unfortunately, our boys, none of them qualified, but they did. We had several athletes place 4th place at the regional tournaments. We're proud of them as well. The last thing I'd like to highlight is something we're working on at St. Helens Middle School, and that is our Tier 2 interventions at each grade level. Right now, it's called Tier 2 Reteaching the Essentials. And really what this is the St. Helens Middle School staff and teachers designing our multi-tiered systems of support for students. And it's an academic intervention. Currently, we're piloting it in 6th grade. 6th grade teachers in math, science, and language arts identify students who haven't achieved the standard yet or an essential skill in their class. And we identify them, share that information with the students, and then request them and schedule them for 60 minutes of intensive reteaching of those essential skills each week. It's going very well. Our teachers are loving getting to pull in small groups of students in their core classes to reteach them the essentials and make sure that they're succeeding at grade level. The most difficult part is transitioning middle school students. And so we're working to refine that, incentivize it, and motivate students by showing them the results. When they show up to their reteaching opportunities, they improve. And so that is our last item for my report. Thank you for letting me present our St. Helens Middle School Riverhawk report.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks, Chris.
Go Riverhawks. Woohoo. Next, let's hear from Martin.
Thank you. Great to be back. Martin Heeman, St. Helens Virtual Academy principal. I'm just really super proud and amazed with the staff and just the way that their efforts have come together to support each other and to support our students. Recently, we started doing a Future Ready activity with them, and we pushed that survey out to the students to find out what they want to have as they're walking across the stage at graduation. What skills do they feel are most important to them to have for their future? And right now, critical thinking and problem solving skills are the highest. Ownership of learning and self-management skills is coming in a very, very close second. So we're going to use that information to try to boost our homeroom classes and provide them with these opportunities to work on these skills. To kind of partner with that, we started forecasting for next year, and we followed the high school this year and doing digital forms. And And this is just another opportunity to give our students a voice in what they're learning and when they want to learn it. So while they're a 10th grader, they could take U.S. history if they wanted to. It's an option for them. No one says that you have to take it during 11th grade. So we give them those opportunities. And then looking off into next year, our staff has been coming together to look at the higher education and career path skills and the personal finance skills that are part of the graduating class of 2027 and beyond. We worked with our vendor through Apex and confirmed that the financial literacy course does meet the Oregon standards for personal finance. So we're really glad that we don't have to create one. The other big win is that our team reviewed the career and college preparation course that is also available in Apex. And we determined that with some custom adjustments, we're going to be able to use that course as well. So we're not going to have to provide all that information through our homeroom. And we can actually have a class that any student coming in at any time that needs that requirement will be able to just take that course, whether they're a senior coming in 2027 or a senior coming in 2028, 29, 30, whenever. So that's what we've been doing, really working on looking at the future for next year.
Thank you so much, Martin. We've also had time with Matt and Martin to redo their entrance requirements and criteria for their schools, and also their parent, student, teacher agreements. So at a further date, we can share those with the board as well. Next would be Matt Lacey at Plymouth. Thank you, Martin.
Good evening, Board Chair Douglas and Superintendent Dr. Gray, members of the school board and St. Helens community. My name is Matt Lacey, and I'm the principal of Plymouth High School. Thank you for the opportunity to present an update here at Panther Country. Excited to be here this evening. Just a quick snapshot of who we are, because I like the numbers, and I think numbers tell a story. Our current enrollment is only 65 students by design. We've got 4 teachers, 1 counselor, 1 special education coordinator, part-time college and career readiness coordinator, 2 instructional assistants, a great head secretary, and we offer 16 classes focused on core classes, and a few electives on top of that, and some online courses to fill in. So that's a quick snapshot of who we are. Our vision is to provide a supportive environment where students actively build trust, achieve excellent academic excellence, and develop future-ready skills for long-term success in a dynamic world. And as you may know, this is my first year here at PHS, and I like to keep my eyes on the numbers. And to check our academic progress, we ran the graduation numbers and found something exciting. Thanks to the Herculean efforts of our past and present teachers and staff, PHS's graduation rate is projected to significantly improve this year. Last year, in the 23-24 year, we graduated 16 students. This year, we are projected to graduate 26, and 11 of those have already earned enough credits to graduate, and they'll be joining us in the spring to do so, and 15 are all on track to walk across that stage. That is a huge success and a core value of who we are. This is a school-wide effort, and it's spectacular growth, and we're in the process of evaluating what we've done to produce these results, identify best practices, and to project how we might improve moving forward. And so you can expect more to come on that. In the social emotional learning aspect, thanks to the trailblazing expertise of the likes of Michelle Tulloch, Lisa Flynn, and Ben Bruin. For the first time ever, PHS has a fully established leadership class designed to amplify student voice and promote positive connections for all here in Panther Country. This class has fully embraced Sources of Strength, the core curriculum / program that has been adopted district-wide. As a school, we are currently working on building culture, and this is our primary driver. And concerning those next steps, because I do believe in being a K through 16 visioned school, with the adept leadership of our gear coordinator, Nicole Edwards, we have 8 students of those 26 who are projected to graduate, who have tangible plans to join Job Corps, PCC, UCC, the welding program at PCC, and the Army. We also have an active group working on scholarships. Next week, they'll be taking a group of students to the Youth Career Expo in Portland, and students will have the opportunity to participate in mock interviews, get feedback on their resumes and the like. And that is a 3-minute and 16-second overview of what some of the great things we're doing at Plymouth are, and some of the things we're working on. Thank you for your time and for your service on the board. All, please feel free to stop by for lunch anytime. We're a pretty special place. Go Panthers.
Go Panthers.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matthew.
Awesome work. Awesome work, all of you. Fantastic. Charlotte Ellis, you'll be the one to take us home.
Excellent. I'd just like to begin by, I have 2 of my assistants with me, so they're going to pop onto the screen and pop back off. So there's
Ted Herning. Robbie Plowman.
We have quite the comedy show going on over here. So I'm going to share 2 successes and 1 what we're calling a work in progress. And so, as you heard earlier today, we held our first PAC meeting, which is our Principal Action Committee. We partnered with the Northwest Regional ESD, a lovely partnership. They came in and helped and trained us and our 12 students on the PAC on voice circles. So we're going to be leveraging that to gather student voice. The other outcome of today's PAC meeting was we wrote our purpose statement, and I just want to share that with you because it's gonna, you'll begin to see it around on social media and some other places. So the group decided that this is the purpose of our PAC, and it is: we gather student feedback, take action, and create positive change by connecting students and staff, uniting student groups, and advocating for all voices. We work to improve the school experiences and create new opportunities for everyone. So we're very excited. We had a great brainstorming session around our next actions, and they really center around this idea of student-teacher trust, relationships, school spirit, and rebuilding that sense of positive climate and culture here at St. Helens High School. So we'll begin engaging in those voice circles with different groups of students right after spring break. I know it's been highlighted already, but our winter sports teams had great success. Both basketball teams, for the first time in school history, both made the playoffs. We had multiple wrestlers place at state. Our equestrian drill team took home second this past weekend as well. Then our performing arts department is kicking off the festival season and already bringing home first place awards, and will be a force to deal with when it comes May at our state competition. So we're very excited and very proud of all of our kids and the hard work that they've been doing. A work in progress is we are working hard in collaboration with our TNL partners who have been invaluable in this process, and our partnership with Oregon ASCD to align our math department. So we know that our current math OSAS score is not near where it could be or where it should be for our kids. We know our kids have greater potential than we're currently demonstrating. And so with those partnerships, we have really worked very hard, and I need to call out our instructional coach, Ginger, who's rolling up her sleeves with our team every Wednesday. And so far, we have been able to align our scope and sequence for integrated math 1, 2, and 3. We have aligned our grading practices in our math department and our expectations for our kiddos. And so really our overarching goal there is to ensure that we have an equitable experience for our kids within our math department. And since we got to present earlier, that's the end of St. Helens's update. Happy to entertain any questions.
Only TNL, will you tell the community the acronym?
Oh, thank you. Our teaching and learning team. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's exciting to get into the conversations around student achievement. And we're really going to be focusing the board a lot in the area of student achievement and what we're doing with teaching and learning K-12. That's going to be the focus of our presentations for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to the principals. Chair Douglas, if you don't mind, I would like to excuse the principals to let them go home.
Yes, of
And
course.
I think that it's enough. And then also I'd like to do the same with Stacy Mendoza. I know that she's a stalwart champ, but I think I need her to go home because she's been like up for 3 days and she needs to go to bed. So all for good reasons. So I just need to have a little mercy on her, and she needs to go too. But unless the principals want to stay, I would ask you that you could go home and get your rest and be ready to go in the morning, because you guys are rock stars and your day starts at before the sun is up. So
Yes.
sure appreciate you guys.
Thank
Beautiful work, fantastic work in every single school that we have.
All right. And
You
with that,
reviewed it. There you go.
yeah, it's all up to you, Dr. Gray. It's your report.
Yes, I will give a brief superintendent's report. These are on things that I feel like the board needs to know about. So Senate Bill 732 is establishing district equity committees. In 2021, the Oregon legislature passed Senate Bill 732, amending Oregon Revised Statute 328-542 and 329-095, and requires each school district to establish what the law calls an Educational Equity Advisory Committee, which this guidance refers to as a District Equity Committee, and we shall be referring to them as District Equity Committees. In short, applications will go out on Monday, March 17th, for people in the community, staff, and students to be a part of the District Equity Committee. The District Equity Committee applications will be put out by Stacy Monday, and they come back to the superintendent by law. Then in our equity team, we will be looking over those applications, and by June, we form a committee. It's required by law in August that the superintendent bring that list of committee members to the board for approval. And one of those members on the equity committee must be put on the budget committee for the following year. There has to be an opening. They don't replace someone. But if there's an opening, one member from the district equity committee must be on your budget committee by law. September 15th is when the meetings begin, and they begin on a monthly basis. And we'll take it from there. I just wanted the board to know that the St. Helens School District has every intention of following Senate Bill 732 and the requirements. And we've already begun our work, and I'm very excited to do this work. This is right up my alley. Connected to the corrective action plan also, I thought I would mention the Superintendent's Advisory Council, which is in the corrective action plan, which the board will be voting on later on tonight, requires that we have a Superintendent's Advisory Council. Those applications go out Monday as well. Those are two different committees. They have two different jobs to do. And then finally, according to the corrective action plan as well, I am required to meet with the Principals Action Committee at St. Helens High School. And so I will be meeting with them as well. Any questions regarding the District Equity Committee? This reports to the board. It's a different kind of committee. This isn't just a superintendent's gig. This is for the board. Moving on to the local service plan with the Northwest Regional ESD, we are in the season where we are creating our local service plan. To that end, I meet with the regional superintendents tomorrow to take a look at what we would like to do with our local service plan. For the 24-25 school year, we were allocated a total of $1.4 million. And that largely comes out of tax dollars that go through the ESDs to school districts. There's 25% of the services are called core services that all the superintendents agree to. 75% of the allocation goes into being able to buy services from the Northwest Regional ESD as transit dollars, what they call credits here. I'm trying to get the lingo. And we can also take some of that money as cash, and we have every intention of doing that. So some of the areas that we buy services from are mostly special education, because the district can't handle doing all this special education. They can't. We don't have the personnel. So the largest amount of what we spend money on is special education, including the special education classroom that was started at Lewis and Clark this year for kids with some pretty big issues. We also buy technology and software. We purchase early learning, EIECSE services, and instructional software. And again, the lion's share of the local service plan is in special education. OTs, PTs, speech pathologists, special classrooms. And I've worked really well with all the ESDs I've ever worked with. Dan Goldman is a wonderful superintendent. He's been in my office 3 times in 5 weeks. I've asked him to various meetings. He has been Johnny on the spot, has been to every one of those meetings and really helped me through a difficult situation I was having. And I know Dan a million years. So different people have different relationships with others. But for me, he has been very responsive to my needs and what I needed to know in the last 6 weeks since I've been here. Any questions about local service plan? I will be presenting local service plan to you next month. This is just a tee up.
Thank you.
Now on to Ed Leader, who's going to talk to us about Custodio.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me here. Yes, I was here before, but it's in the background. My name is Ed Leader. I'm the Director of Technology for St. Helens School District. I'm talking about Custodio tonight. It is a add-on piece to our student online safety, platform. Let me share my screen here. There we go. LineWise. LineWise consists of our web filter, and it's one of the top of class products, class-wise. It's a teacher tool to monitor student computers in their classrooms, keep them on track. They can pause internet, open applications, all that kind of stuff. And Monitor, which is a really unique product that allows us to help monitor students engaging in harmful activity, such as previously known chat rooms and whatnot. And it gives us some really great insight into risky and dangerous behaviors. It's been invaluable the last few years. It's kind of been an evolution of products. We started pre-COVID after some serious student concerns. And now we have this Monitor product, which is part of the LineWise suite. LineWise added in another product, which I'll talk about, is Custodio. It's basically a companion app that allows us to partner better with our parents. So when students have devices like our Chromebooks they take home, it helps them also monitor what their students have been doing and are doing while at school and also at home. It's a free add-on. It's part of the service, and it was added, I believe, last year. And I didn't really want to go kind of like bleeding edge, and then to get all the kinks out of it. They're still adding some features in. I believe we'll get access to another one here in another couple of weeks that will roll in. It basically allows, like, a parent, student comes with a Chromebook and they know Johnny has a problem with YouTube. They can shut off YouTube. Also, if Johnny has an issue with staying up past his bedtime, use that Chromebook when he's not supposed to be, they can shut off the internet for that device as well. So it's pretty exciting, and it's been something that parents have been asking and talking about. And I'm glad we're able to provide that now. So basically, as you can see on the screen, they can pause the internet after school hours to help manage their child's screen time. You gain visibility into the child's online activity on school issued devices. So whether it's the Chromebooks they bring home, or if they're in some of our CTE labs that have Windows devices, those are also all covered. We also get access, and parents, staff as well, to an expert advice on our St. Helens School District Online Safety Hub. And this is a companion web page provided by the Custodio folks that has tips and tricks and reviews and things that parents should know about apps like TikTok, Facebook, social media, emerging threats their children may experience on those platforms, where predators can use different tactics to get their use like their phone number and address, that kind of stuff. So it gives parents kind of a real insight into some great tools, things to watch for, instructional videos. And also, as part of this, parents and guardians also get one free custodial license per student for a personal device. So they could put it on if their student has a phone or a home computer, they can add one free per student as well to be covered. And this parent, it's all managed by the parent. They work with Custodio for tech support. So the rollout timeline, we're looking at Monday, March 17th, to send out district messaging via Parent Square, basically introduction letter. Here's what Custodio is. Here's how you access it. Basically, all they need to know to enroll is the email address we have in file with them. So they gave it to us. They know that, so they go to a special website, which will provide, enter in their email address. They link up with their student. So we've done work in the back end, connecting data out of our student information system with the parents, linking up the students. So the parents have to go the next step to register for basically an account with their email address. They can get an app that allows them to follow that. And it's really pretty interesting, the power can give parents on that side of things. So send out our messaging on Monday the 17th. The next day, Custodio sends out introduction email. So we kind of set it up. Custodio sends out emails with more of an intro, kind of a reminder. Here's what it does, some graphics, more opportunities to enroll. And then the following day, they do another like reminder email out. And it's basically for those that haven't signed up yet. So that's kind of the initial push. We don't want to like spam them daily and get, no one likes to be spammed a lot. So basically a couple weeks later on the 30th, basically they'll start sending out the Custodio weekly parent insights. So basically information about their student, kind of what they've been doing. Here's how much time they've been doing on this particular websites and these other ones. So it gives them like, oh, this might be valuable for me to look into. And this is available K-12, all schools, all students. So it's not just a secondary version. And then we're looking in April sometime. We're kind of, I'll be working with the Custodio folks and Stacy for promotion that Custodio staff is willing to do a live webinar for parents to hop on, ask them questions, learn more about the product if they like. So this kind of talks about the signups, just their email address. If what they put in is wrong, it's a great opportunity to contact their school to get that updated, because we use that, for Parent Square for contact, Parent View for messaging and whatnot, so they can access their students online. They can't see their grades and whatnot, so it's a good opportunity to kind of make sure we have the updated information there. There's also a link on here that shows kind of where they would go to sign up. It's just a simple go there, they put in their email address. Support it's something like this. I was worried about what's the load it's going to put on our staff. Our staff aren't ones that don't have a lot of extra time floating around. So what's something that's kind of self-running, and Custodio provides all of the parent support, except if that email address is wrong, they contact the school. And that's a win-win for us because we're getting an updated email address if that's the case. And that's kind of basically it. When new parents and students come in, when they get entered into our student information system, That next night, it does the extracts and all our stuff in the background. They will get enrollment emails out to them as soon as that student like starts classes when they are enrolled officially. So it's kind of like hands off once we get it set up, do our messaging and kind of get it rolling. And yeah, excited to do it. I was actually ready back in the fall, and I was like, okay, we're ready. I sat through the webinar, got the planning done, but I think now's a good time. And it really is. I think it's a great tool. Just in the last couple of weeks, there's been instances where I think parents really would have been happy to have this information on some issues that popped up. So yeah. Is there any questions?
I actually have a question really quick. Can you scroll back up to the very top?
Sure.
So the section that you have on the expert advice via the online safety hub, is that just a FAQ page, or is there a interactive chat feature as part of it?
They can email the company, but it's like articles, videos, there's parent-centric, there's staff-centric articles, videos, reviews on apps. So there's not like a interactive, like a chat bot or anything on there yet. I know they're coming out with a Spanish language version that the online hub translates really well with the Google Translate feature and all the browsers out there. So there's that part, but not that direct interactivity right away.
What other questions does the board have for Ed? We feel like the leadership team feels like this is really going to meet the needs of our students, our teachers, and our staff and our parents. They're asking for something like this. This is a great product to use to keep children safe. There's a law that says that we as school districts have to work to keep children safe on the internet. And this is one of the ways we can do that.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't
Oh, not at all you. I'm just talking about how excited I am about Custodio.
It's just not a common tool that districts are using. And we're kind of, I don't want to toot our own horn, but we're kind of at the forefront, I think, in online student safety and the tools we have available to help with that. And it's many times where it's been very valuable to have that data for the schools to help students.
Some of my feedback as a parent, I do get kind of frustrated with having like Parent View and Synergy and now this one and just a whole bunch of apps on my phone and ways to communicate. And sometimes even now, I often get an email for correspondence with teachers and I can't reply to it because it's a reply thing. And then you go into the Parent View and I can't reply there either. So I would actually ask that maybe in not just opening it up and one-on-one online, maybe we need to do some in-persons and maybe we need to have people uninstall and reinstall and just kind of do one-on-one 101 teachings for how to use these apps in general. I think it would be helpful.
Sure. Yeah. Like Parent Square, those messages are certainly, they should be working. You reply to a message in email, you have to go into the Parent Square app. Same with like the text messages. A lot of those, especially like they're meant for that two-way communication. It's unfortunate that you experience that.
Yeah, and I had a question because Kelly had a question the other day regarding her child being able to email her. And you said that he could.
Yep, we don't have any restrictions on secondary students currently sending and receiving email outside the district. So parents, platforms, colleges, that kind of stuff. So we kind of have a tiered system for protection. So email is shut off totally for kindergarten through third grade. Fourth and fifth grade, it is on, but only internal emails and some of our safe sites. So like Parent Square, some of those. Then we do have some or students that have been naughty that get the same kind of set of policies where they can only email teachers, staff, but not other students, and vice versa. Students can email them. So we try to do have that capability for them to use email as secondary students, along with Parent Square too. They have Student Square.
Well, I have 2 at the middle school and 2 at the high school, and I do find that some of mine are still restricted, so maybe they've been naughty, but I'll have to check into it.
Yeah, you should be able to communicate with them, Kelly. So I think that's wonderful. Ed, thank you so much for your work tonight. And he's so good with setting up all this internet stuff. Ed is just he's so awesome. I just really appreciate you, Ed.
Thank you. Appreciate
I
it.
sure do.
Thank you, Ed.
I want the board to
Thanks,
know
Ed.
that spring break is the 24th to the 28th. That's 7.5.4 under the superintendent's report. So just be aware of spring break. Lots of work going on at the high school over spring break. The work session that we had last Monday was just excellent. I just want to remind the board of the wonderful work that we did with our budget. Thanks again to Christy Woodard, who walked us through a beautiful presentation about budget and what it means. And we're going to continue to gather our information. And we have lots of budget conversation to be having from now until the end of June. And that's it for my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gray.
You're welcome.
All right, we will go ahead and move on to action items. For 8.1, we have policy updates. We have the updates to the GCAA, the Standards for Competent and Ethical Performance of Oregon Educators.
I'll move to adopt and approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Moving on to 8.1.2, GBNAA, JHFF, and JHFF and JBNAA, suspected sexual contact with students reporting requirements, and updating that policy.
I would move to approve the policy GBNAA-JAFF and JHFF-GBNAA.
Okay, moved. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. All right, moving on to 8.2, to accept or reject the corrective action plan and action steps as indicated in the March 12th regular meeting.
I move to approve. Do we need a caveat in here, so long as that we have the budgeted money for those items?
We'll have the budget for those items. They
Perfect.
need to happen. So that could caveat it, but it's going to happen.
Okay. All
I'll
right.
second.
Second. Okay.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Moving on to 8.3, to accept or reject the separation agreement as presented in this meeting. Well,
I move to accept.
Okay. Move to accept.
Second.
Here. Okay. Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm going to abstain on that one because I have an ongoing working relationship in this case.
That's understandable. 3 votes for yes, 1 vote abstain. Motion passes. All right. And with that, we move on to 8.4, to authorize the superintendent search with COSA to begin 3/17/25.
Well, I'd like to jump in here, Chair Douglas. I would like to suggest to the board to work with the Coalition of School Administrators team for your next superintendent search. They charge $10,000 for a full superintendent, $7,000 for an interim. They are an excellent organization. They are kind of the counterpart to the human capital They're an Oregon outfit hiring Oregon superintendents. We have an excellent relationship with COSA, and COSA is ready to rock and roll as soon as the board would want to have a conversation. I kind of deputize one of you to have a conversation with their director, Krista Parent. So I would really like to recommend COSA for the superintendent search to begin immediately. And that's my information. It's up to you to vote. But I wanted to give you that information in open session.
Okay. Did any board member want to end up opening discussions, or would you prefer to move to a vote?
I just know we have a history with them in our community with some of the other hirings that we've done in this crisis interim time right now, and they haven't always been favorable. However, I know that that is a process, and it's up to us to lean on them to provide the best service that they can.
Bill?
I think that part of it was the haste that they were put under. It's a little unfair when you have outside forces from them and us saying that you're going to do something in the next 5 days, and they do what they can do. And so I would suspect that they will get the job done, and at least that's a resource for us. It's up to us to do our due diligence along with them then.
Melody?
Well, I just wanted to say I'll volunteer to be that person to work with them.
I'm right there too. I kind of wish I could be there in the way of, I think I push a little harder sometimes.
Yeah. And my own viewpoint so far is very colored by budget, because they definitely have a better budget offering as to how to be able to move forward at this point, other than any other options that we seem to end up having at this point. So I'm definitely leaning towards that because of that.
And also, by the way, those search firms all talk to each other. It's not like they're working in a vacuum. They don't work in a vacuum. They all kind of know each other and talk to each other. I have great respect for Dr. Krista Parent. I graduated with her from the U of O. She's been a fine, upstanding administrator in my book. I wouldn't recommend COSA to you if I didn't think they could do the job. And we are out of time. So if you really want to get a superintendent for St. Helens School District, that's a real one and not acting or interim, all I can say is as your friend and as your superintendent, you need to get moving.
It is very much appreciated. Thank you, Dick.
You do.
All right. So the motion is there a motion in order to be able to adopt?
I will so move.
I'll second.
Okay, moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, next up, 8.5, to authorize Superintendent Gray to work with a real estate agent to sell property.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Next up, 8.6, the Budget Committee, the interviews for vacancies position 2 and position 5. So, do we have them here today?
I inquired about this because we never received these applications. I was told that maybe Miss Woodard would have, that we only received one and that she was filtering it, and maybe we would just move to adopt or move to fill the vacancy with them if she approved.
Okay.
There is a former member that was on a one-term commitment and was not asked to come back that might be willing to do that as well.
We do have an
is on our
applicant
committee the last couple of
online.
years.
We have an applicant online right now. Mr. Hort is an applicant for that position.
Oh, there he is. There's one.
Perfect.
Yes. And thank you so much for joining us, Reed.
There. Can you hear me?
Yep.
We can hear
Okay,
you.
great. Great. Hey, can I interrupt real fast? I really enjoyed the presentations from everybody. That was really great to hear. I just wanted to add that. Thank you.
Thank you. Those are normal. We love those too.
It's a board meeting.
Yep.
Okay.
So you have a candidate and you have questions. It's up to the board what you want to do. I would go through the process, but that's me.
We don't have the questions. We weren't given that we don't have that in our packet.
Did you have the questions?
Those were supposed to be given to the board members. Sorry. I don't know why they're not there. Rochelle, do you know why the board members don't have them? Since they're the ones asking them, I thought those got sent to you guys.
We didn't get the application or the question.
I know I ended up seeing them at
No, you got the questions because I talked about them with someone. I don't know how that went through the email. I sent them, so I don't know. Christy, do you have the application you could email to the board?
I don't have it in front of me. I apologize. But
okay.
I do have the questions that were sent to
I can kind of
Douglas.
explain my application. It was basically something similar to when I went for the temporary board membership, about my experience and stuff. And if that would help, I can talk about that or whatever you guys want to do. Sure.
He did fill out the application, that's for sure. It's my fault that you guys don't have that. But the questions, I was sure I sent those out. So, because people ask me questions about them, but that's okay.
Well,
I don't know what to
did
say.
Did Christy have them that she could just go ahead and tell us?
Yeah, Christy's got them.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I finally found them.
I am happy to. Oh, I had them up. Hold on. Let me see if I can find them again. There we go. So I'm happy to ask questions. So would you like me to share those so that the respective board members can ask the questions?
Yes, because they've got names after them. Yeah,
they do. Let me hold on.
Well, you go ahead and share them. I do have the interview questions. It was originally emailed to us on the 6th, it looks like.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and start.
I was pretty sure I did that.
Yep. So I'll go ahead and start with the first question. Please tell us your name and a little bit about yourself.
Oh, my name is Reed York. I've lived in St. Helens probably almost for 10 years now. My youngest son graduated early from St. Helens High School. We're probably going to have another student going in through the system. We're foster parents, and it sounds like we're working on getting another foster parent or foster person in the house. I've worked in construction most of my life since I retired from being in law enforcement and kind of got hurt. But I'm used to working capital projects and expense projects, for large builds, large expenses, and I've had to account for myself on an Excel spreadsheet and track my expenditures and turn them in, versus nowadays I have programs that the company uses that makes it so much easier. But they watch the dime down to the dime. So I'm used to getting called in for audits and having to explain myself.
Okay. Have you gotten a chance to get the questions yet?
I have them in front of me. I don't have the ability to share my screen, and I didn't want to interrupt Mr. York.
Just read it. That's okay.
Yeah, I think you can just read them. I think it was shared with you as the chair, Chair Douglas. I don't see them. So go ahead.
So next question. The expectations of budget committee members is that they do their homework prior to meetings and that they will attend the budget committee training meeting and all budget committee meetings. There may be up to 3 to attend. How do you feel about this expectation? And is there anything in your background that may help you to perform this role?
I am a person that likes to dive in and figure things out. I don't know the rules and regulations versus using public funds and which fund to pull it out of, but I'm willing to figure that out. I've already started doing that research. I know the current budget coming up is 199 pages, and I'm currently working on printing that out and binding that. And I don't have any issues attending any mandatory meetings or any budget meetings at all.
Okay.
If you're on the committee, you can save yourself the printing.
Okay.
It will come in a little binder all for you with.
Oh, that'd be nice. Thank you.
Nice tabs.
I haven't hit print yet. It's loaded up, ready to go. I've got
Well,
it spooled
that's
up.
good for review and is nice, but yes, you will get a copy.
Okay. Well, that way I can highlight and, you know, just mark up my own little copy. I'm used to doing that. And my boss is calling me up and saying, calling out a line item and saying, why did you charge that there?
I can assure you Trinity did a ton of that his first year, especially because he was learning where did all the money come from and where did all it go and why is it here, and it's very informative. So
okay, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's actually very useful.
Okay. All right. Next question.
I gotta silence my phone. Sorry, it's gonna start ringing.
It's all right. Next question. What do you think is the most important budget issue facing school districts today in Oregon?
Kind of, how do you politically say this? The lack of funding, and, you know, and capital project improvements. Most of the schools seem to be aged and needing to be refurbished and brought up to new codes and new standards, and trying to balance that versus, you know, trying to provide the best budget you can for the students and staff in the schools. That's kind of like that's really delicate balancing act you got to play there, because, you know, on one hand, you're being told you have to bring the school up to these codes, you know, and on the other hand, you got students that need, you know, staffing and like Dr. Gray was saying, it's like special needs children and things like that. So, you know, I think it's just a big, giant juggling act and trying to figure out which way it goes the best. And, you know, make it make sense. And if I get asked something on it, then I'm making an intelligent, informed decision.
Okay. What is the most important budget issue facing St. Helens School District and why?
I think, I haven't looked yet, but I think there's going to be a shortfall, and that's going to put everybody into a panic right out of the start. So I think it would be getting the message out to the public and the students and the staff and the families of what's going on, and, you know, where the shortfalls are coming in versus, you know, all these other projects we're trying to get done, and, you know, try to get everybody on board with that. A lot of communication, I think, is what's needed.
All right. Why would you like to serve on the St. Helens School District Budget Committee?
Well, I had a board member reach out to me and said, you know, hey, this would be a good start. You could start learning things about the school district as far as, you know, when you guys speak about the different areas where funding comes from, and just understand everything about, you know, what the school district is up against as far as, you know, budgeting, and kind of get involved.
Excellent.
That's correct.
Yeah.
The best place to
That's
start.
totally correct.
Yeah.
And finally, what is the role of the St. Helens School District Budget Committee?
I think it is to understand the expenditures and, you know, make recommendation and, you know, escalate that up through the chain. And I'm probably pretty sure that there's going to be a buffer between the committee and the board and the superintendent, and, you know, just hash out all the little details, the minute stuff, and so you guys can churn through the bigger stuff, and you're not getting into the weeds so bad, trying to figure out for yourself where it's all going.
All right. Does the board have any other questions for him?
Nope.
No, just thank you, Reed, for your willingness to participate.
No, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you have no idea how much I appreciate it, Mr. Howard.
Every year, we just like Trent has mentioned before, we are always begging for budget members, and a lot of times they go unfilled. So it's good to have
And
someone.
that doesn't help anybody. It's like today, towards the end of the day, I got called and said, "You need to explain, a $500,000 expenditure." And I said, "Well, I'm just about ready to shut down. Can I present it tomorrow?" And they said, "Yes." So, I've got all the documentation. I know where it's spent. I know why it was spent. I just got to plead my case and say, then they can sign off on it.
All right.
But,
thank you.
But that happens quite a bit. I get questioned a lot, and rightfully so.
Save your receipts more.
Yeah. Our projects are large. I work on 7 different projects, and they're funded probably about $1 million a piece. And it's really hard to keep them balanced, to keep them separated. And we do purchase orders down to the $100.
Wow. Wow.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
At this point, I'd like to see if we want to entertain any motions because I'm assuming there's nobody else that ended up applying at this point.
I would move to invite Reed Hort to join the St. Helens School District Budget Committee for position number 2.
Second.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know it may seem like you're the only man standing in this particular case and that it's almost a default, but I assure you that it is not. We desperately every bit of help.
And I would have said if you had other candidates that had better qualifications, I would bow out.
No, certainly not this time. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, thank you. I look forward to working on the budget committee and working with everybody.
Excellent.
See you
All right.
Thank you, Reed.
Now, at this point, we did end up making some motions at the start of the meeting to be able to end up adding to the agenda.
Hey guys, you might want to dump me out from being able to speak. I can see you and you got my video on, so I don't know if you want to dump me out. Back to spectating. I don't want to cause any.
You can just go on mute. We don't care.
Let's go on mute. It's all good.
Okay. So the motion that we had before from Melody.
Should be licensed renewals.
Yes, the license renewals. That's right.
I would move to accept those.
Okay. All right. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right. Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
So at this point, let's see, we have got the wrong one. I got the old one here.
Can I read it for you?
Yes, please.
The upcoming meeting and board meeting agenda, April 9th. It says 5 p.m. Are we meeting at 5 p.m. that day? Okay. And then April 23rd at 6:30, both in the boardroom. And then next up, you have visitors to address the board.
Okay.
I would like to ask the board to consider, I would like to have the April 9th meeting and the April 23rd meeting at Plymouth instead of the boardroom. I'd like to open that up for more room. I'm hoping that would be a better place for us to meet. I just want to be frank with the board, my own sense. The room at the district office is very claustrophobic, and I'm having a hard time there. So I'm hoping that people are interested in the work session as we present our blueprint for success in our work session, and also for the board meeting. I would like to try to be in public if possible, but I would like to be in public at Plymouth instead of the boardroom. That's my request. You can say no, but I'm asking.
Okay.
I would rather do it at the middle school in the media room. It's so hard to hear in the Plymouth space for myself personally, the way it echoes. I don't know if there's another room that we could do that's better, just my opinion.
Bill, do you have any suggestions, perhaps? Melody?
I'm just not really sure how many people can be in the media room, so I don't want to make it where somebody can't get in. But otherwise I'm good either way.
Okay.
I think they're probably about equivalent, but and actually, I think that same week. Well, there's a listening session happening soon, so I think you'll be able to judge how many people would be showing up based on if they're showing up to the listening session rather than the meeting.
I don't know. I feel uncomfortable in the boardroom. My last experience there was very claustrophobic, and I don't want to do it again. That's just me. I want to make sure that whatever we do, we communicate that to the community so that they know where we're going to be, so they don't think that we're just moving around the meeting. We met at Plymouth before, so that's why I suggested it.
Yeah.
If the board feels like it's too echoey, that's for you to say, but I'm uncomfortable meeting in the boardroom.
The media room at the middle school is similarly close to the boardroom. I'm not sure that that's if you were in the cafeteria, maybe, but if you just like to have the board slightly isolated from the group, then I think either Plymouth or the cafeteria at the middle school are better venues than myself.
I would like it if maybe you could make up your mind like now, because I'm asking now, so that people that are listening to us in the YouTube, that they know what we decided. I'll go with whatever the board says, but I'm going to object to the boardroom.
I would think that Plymouth is fine, and people are used to going there.
Yeah, Plymouth is fine.
I'm good with Plymouth.
We'll try really hard, Kelly, to make it work so that if there's something that we can do to set it up in a way that would be less echoey, I would want to do that. And I will talk to our tech people and ask them what can be arranged.
That'd be great.
It gives us a room for executive session. And I don't mean to be a pill either. But I have to speak if there's something that's bothering me.
Yeah. There are ways in order to be able to muffle sound in that particular room.
Rochelle will work on that with Jared. I appreciate it. I can't tell you how much. I really do. Thank you for your consideration. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank you.
All right. And finally, we have visitors to address the board. This is a time for public comment on agenda and non-agenda items. The board will not take any immediate action, but will refer concerns to the superintendent and ask her to report to the board. We appreciate you keeping comments to 3 minutes per individual or 5 minutes if you're representing a group of patrons. Please note, under Oregon revised statutes, personnel concerns will not be discussed in a public meeting. If you have any concerns with the school district personnel, please schedule a meeting with Dr. Gray, the superintendent. At this point, Rochelle, do we have any people wanting to comment at this point?
Yeah, I don't know if Rochelle's audio is working.
Yes, Miss Gump has been patiently waiting. She now has ability.
Yes, so Jenna Gump, she did ask to speak. Go on ahead.
Hi, my name is Gina Gump. Can you just hear me, or can you see
We
me?
can just hear you. We'd love to see you.
I don't know. I have no way to turn on like I cannot see any sort of any settings to turn on video.
That's right.
Well, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for now, I will just speak. Good evening. My name is Gina Gump, and I am a resident of St. Helens. I am a teacher with the Scappoose School District and the chair of the IDD Council for Columbia County. I'm also a mother of 4 children, 3 of whom received special education services through Vernonia School District. I'm here tonight to speak about the importance of sharing the resources available through IDD, that's meaning intellectual and developmental disabilities, services with all students. Access to these resources can make a profound difference in the success of every student, regardless of whether their disability is visible or not. While one of my children has a visible disability, two of them do not. Unfortunately, these two children struggled to get the support they needed because their challenges weren't immediately obvious. When I reached out for help, I was told there was no assistance available to them. It wasn't until years later that I learned that that was not true. I now know that both of my children could have benefited from the services provided through IDD support if the resources had been more accessible or even had I been aware of them. This experience is what drives me in my role as chair of the IDD Council. I'm here tonight to ask for your partnership in spreading awareness about the services that are available to all students, not just those with visible disabilities. Many families in this community are like mine and may be unaware that these resources exist or that they could provide significant benefits. And it is our goal as a council to change that. Our mission is to come alongside you, to partner with you and help ensure that resource information gets into the hands of as many students and families as possible. Together, we can make sure that every student who needs support has access to it. I would like to invite you all to attend one of our council meetings to give you the opportunity to see how impactful it is. Our board is composed of self-advocates, parents, family members, and community partners. The council's purpose is to advise the Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities Program, advocate for real change for all people who experience a disability in Columbia County and beyond, and ensure all citizens in Columbia County are aware of all available resources. By simply making the general education population aware of what's available, we can create a more inclusive, supportive environment that helps all students succeed. It starts with awareness, and the more we can share this information, the more students and families will be empowered to reach out for the help that they may need. Thank you so much for your time and for listening to me. I look forward to working together to support the students in our community. And it bothers me so much that my video is not on. Like, I am, as a teacher myself, I do not like black screens, so I'm so sorry.
Oh.
It's all right.
We're just glad that you're here with us and speaking this important message. I would like to attend your next council meeting. Could you please tell me when that is and where that is?
Yeah,
yes, let me pull up on my calendar.
Thank you.
To get the exact date, it is the second Monday of every month. So it will be April 14th at 5:30 p.m. And it's at the Creekside Community Center with CCMH.
Kindly say the last part again.
The CCMH Creekside Community, I believe that's the
Creekside.
CCMH is over by Walmart.
Yep.
And Creekside is the room within the CCMH building.
Yes.
In the CCMH building. It's a room.
Correct.
Yes.
I will be there on April 14th at that meeting.
At 7
and I will
o'clock?
bring a staff member with me.
No, that meeting is actually at 5:30. It goes from 5:30 to 7. I so look forward to meeting you there, and so you can see my face.
We'll take a picture together.
That sounds
and
wonderful.
I'll send it to the board. I'm just delighted. I want to know what all the resources are. And I've just had other people in my office today about resources for kids with substance abuse issues. So I'm just super excited to be meeting all of the wonderful partners. We had a wonderful partnership meeting today. So I'm very, very much looking forward. I don't know if the board has any other comments or questions for Gina.
No, I think it's fantastic that we're even getting to be able to learn about these. I know that's one of the struggles that we've had as a district in general, is to be able to end up helping kids that are struggling in that fashion. So yeah, I'm happy to end up getting any sort of contact in that way.
Fantastic. I look forward to meeting you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, who do we have next?
That is all.
Okay. All right.
Hey, can I ask one question real quick?
Of course.
Of course.
On Gina that just spoke, if more than 2 of us would like to be there, are we able to announce it as being able to be there, or can we only have
Can only
2?
be 2 board members, cannot be 3.
Yeah.
But if 2 of you want to go, we can carpool from the district office. And I want to bring Jen Nelson with me, who's the student services coordinator.
I'm probably going to be at work, so I would appreciate it if a couple of other board members.
Yeah, Melody, we can go.
Okay.
Kelly, if you're interested, absolutely.
I'm
Bill,
really,
anybody.
I'm really informed in that circle. So if Bill would like to go, he can go.
I will check my calendar.
Fantastic.
I wrote it down. I just haven't got it. I haven't been playing. I've been staying off of my phone, so I don't know what that calendar says.
Yeah. All right.
It's a struggle, but I did it.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else that the board wants to end up bringing up at this time? All right.
Oh, look at the young people.
Hold on. You guys are still
Look at the
there.
young people. They stayed with us. Oh my God. Look at them. You guys are brave.
Akita, are you 18?
Not yet. We're recruiting
Oh.
you for the budget committee as soon as you are. We've had others.
That's
Perfect.
what we need.
We've had 2 other
representative on the
student
budget committee.
committees. We
I need an 18-year-old student.
Dr. Ellis has it on her to-do list.
Good
All right.
job.
Thank you very much for everyone's time. I'm grateful you could end up sticking around for as long. This was a very, very useful meeting. Thank you very much for everyone for participating, and I will call this meeting adjourned.
Thank you. Good night.